We've spoken to so many people that are unhappy with the progress of their portfolios. They're telling us that their RRSPs and other retirement accounts aren't progressing as fast as they would like them to. Are you seeing that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say we get about three types of people here. The first one would be the type of person that wants to supplement their living, their lifestyle. They're not really making enough to go on the trips or take time with their family, and they're trying to do that. The second would be the full-time trader, the person that wants to eventually quit their job and move into this full-time because they like the lifestyle and the hours of the trader, the freedom of a trader. But I would say the biggest portion of students that come to us would be the person who's fallen behind on their investments. And what we see mostly is that they've purchased mutual funds, they've held them, and they're not really performing to the level that they need them to be for them to hit their goals.
So people aren't making great returns. Why is that? Aren't the American and Canadian markets high?
Yeah, isn't that funny? I mean, if you look at the markets today, we've never been this high in history. We are at an all-time high, so you'd think if the market's at an all-time high, our accounts should be at an all-time high. I should be as closer than ever to my retirement goals. But our students are telling us that's not the case. And if you think about it, can we stay at an all-time high forever? No. So there's a crash coming. Well, what happens to your goal during a crash? Will you move away from your goal? So during the crash, you want to move away, and an all-time high, I'm nowhere near. Something's not right here. And so they're starting to understand that they have to change the strategies that they're applying to the market today.
Some people just seem to come to this conclusion that this is just the way it is and there's nothing they can do about it.
We're trained to think that way, right? We just can't help it. We look at one neighbor, we look at the other neighbor and say, well, we're all suffering from the same thing. There's no way out. But it's nonsense. You cannot buy a stock if someone doesn't sell to you. So every buyer needs a seller. And if you think of it, one of them will be wrong, one of them will be right. So every winner has a loser. So all the people saying it's just the way it is, it's just the way it is for this group. The other group that took the other side of the trade or implemented a different strategy, they're doing okay. They're making lots of money.
Your students are very big fans of protecting their portfolios. I didn't even know that was possible. We've had 2 big crashes in the last 14 years, and it took a lot of time for us to recover from them. So it seems like a protective strategy is in the best interest of everyone.
From the 70s to the 2000s, we've got the market going up forever. And so you don't really need a protective strategy. If you look at the market, let's say the S&P 500, or even the Toronto Stock Exchange, from say 1997 to today, you see a lot of ups, a lot of downs. You see a lot of opportunity to make money, a lot of opportunity that took it all away. And so a strategy that would protect your portfolio is critical, and yet the average person doesn't even know it's possible.
One of your students, Jerry, told us that he makes a living simply by buying and holding stocks. How is that even possible?
Right, it's another strategy that the average Joe doesn't know about. So Jerry came to us because he wanted to be a full-time trader. He sold a business and he wanted to make income every month, and we asked him, but why do you want to be a full-time trader? And his understanding was that's the only way really to draw income from his account. And we showed him a different understanding of the market, and what he realized is, well, I can get paid monthly to buy and hold stocks. That's my income. And so he used an investment strategy to actually do this for a living.
So you're telling me that you can get paid and get dividend?
Absolutely. So a lot of people make that mistake. We're not talking about dividends. You can buy a stock that pays, let's say, 5% dividend. And then you can hold that stock and make, let's say, 5% in cash holding it. Well, we're at 10%. Now, if your stock goes up 5% in the year, you've just made 15% holding that stock, whereas average Joe, he just made 5. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
Does this work with only a few types of stocks? I'm sorry for all the questions. This just seems too good to be true.
Almost all stocks. So any stock that you would call out that we would both know what the company does, the odds are it works. If you were to call out some obscure stock that no one's ever heard of, probably the strategy won't work. But for the average investor that's holding stocks, maybe Apple, Microsoft, one of the major Canadian banks, absolutely it works.
It sounds like there's a lot of different strategies that people can use.
That's right. You can really, you should think a little bit more broadly and think about what is it I'm trying to achieve. And then from there, be exposed to all the types of strategies that are available. And from there, you get to pick the 2 or 3 that are really going to get you to your goal. Don't really be that narrow-minded to say, I want to be an investor or I want to be a trader. Rather approach it to say, what are the opportunities the market is giving me and which are the right ones for me?
This all sounds really great, but is it even possible? I mean, we hear so many stories about people failing in the markets and losing thousands of dollars.
Right. Your next door neighbor that lost a house in the market, right? If you think of it this way, though, most people don't approach the market, learning the market, the way they would approach it learning anything else. You don't have a brain surgeon going to the library to read books. They're going to a school. Most people don't get any professional grade training. Think of it from this point of view. If I were to say, well, I have two instructors for you to teach you how to swim. One is an Olympic swimmer, and one is someone that doesn't know how to swim. Well, who would you want to take lessons from? Most people listen to their neighbors, their friends, their family. Well, that's the person that can't swim. How can someone who doesn't know how to swim teach you to swim? The first step is to really get professional grade education from people that know how to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. That's a game changer.
So is there a process to getting good at this? How does one even get started?
Yeah, the first step would be really to come to a free seminar. We really introduce the market and the things that have changed, and you can get a really good understanding of what it takes to achieve your goals. It's a way for you to check out the school, and it's also a way for us to check out the student and see if we're right for each other. You really just have to go to our website, register for the free seminar, and we just go from there.